forward after you get the results. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll do just say the results first. 100% dominant, 100% owner, 100% primal hunter, 100% rigger, 100% sadist, 100% degrader, 94% master / mistress, 84% brat tamer, 69% experimentalist, 61% non-monogamous, 24% vanilla, 18% voyeur, 11% mommy/daddy, 7% expeditionist, 0% age play, and 0% switch. So I'm gonna go actually in reverse and just explain the 0% first. So for switch, it's basically if sometimes you feel like more dominant or more of a top, instead of just a bottom, you're not just a bottom all the time or just a top all the time. You need both. You need a little balance. You need a little bit of control and a little bit of letting go of control, and things like that. That's for what a switch really is. I guess I can read the description. Switches like to, well, switch. That's what it says. Always taking a dominant or top position is not for them. Neither is always taking a submissive or bottom position. Some prefer to switch with the same partner or partners. Others have a dominant play partner and a submissive play partner. But in either case, they do not fit one side of the point of the spectrum. They typically pair up with other switches. Yeah. So I'm not that. Okay, then age play. Age play like to play with an age as part of their age players. They typically like a much younger or older age than they actually are, or prefer playing with a partner that does not act or behave with someone of the age. So age player includes people who like age gaps, so like there's like 20 years or like 10, 16 years, maybe 30 years, a large amount of years in between the two people who are playing together. Yeah, so like it includes people with actual age differences that are quite large. And then I am pretty sure it's usually like 5 or more years. Age difference is what it would be considered. Where they're happening right now. Okay. And also underneath that, they would also be considered littles, caregivers, and littles. Caregivers take care of the littles. Littles are usually ages of like a baby, so like an infant or a 1-year-old, toddlers, to like up to 5 or 6, but usually never older than 5 or 6 years old. They're usually younger. I'll explain in 1 minute about that. Okay, so 7% exhibitionist enjoys showing their naked body or sexual activities to other people. Obviously, all of this is consented. They typically pair up with voyeurs. My voyeur is 18%, and it enjoys someone who enjoys watching nakedness or sexual activities of other people. I only got 18% of that because I was like, everyone watches porn, you know. And I'm also almost 69%, so basically 70% of an experimentalist. You just want to try all the different kinks and different options and just being open-minded, things like that. Yeah. So sorry, jumping right back down to 11%. The daddy/mommy. Yeah. They're a caretaker role in the relationship, being guided as much as the dominant. They dominate their little treasure submissives with an iron fist and a velvet glove, or cuddly and affectionate. on the outside. So it's more about the relationship. Usually it's more like timeouts and things like that. So more small, subtle psychological mechanisms rather than brute power. They nurture their littles into obedience. Yeah. So they usually are paired with, they're typically paired with boys/girls. So not the same as littles. Littles are a lot younger. They're usually at oldest like age 5 or 6, and then girls and boys, I believe, are like it's like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm pretty sure like right before puberty, in that range. And obviously, I'm not talking about actual ages. Talking about what they would act as. They would pretend and play and give up responsibilities so they didn't have to deal with adulthood, just more playing around and things like that. So yeah, that was 11% for daddy/mommy results, and then I'm gonna jump back up to, oh, I skipped vanilla. Vanilla people enjoys regular sex, and normal relationship models. You usually pair with other vanillas. Okay, and then I'm gonna jump back up to 61% non-monogamous. So basically, sexuality is not necessarily, and sex isn't necessarily one-on-one. That means have several relationships. Basically, I'm open to poly. So multiple people, like threesomes and things like that. And that goes underneath like experimentalist. Being an experimentalist, just wanting to try everything and anything, really. Okay, now back up to Brat Tamer, 84%. Essentially dominant, who enjoy handling bratty submissives. They find disobedience as a form of plainness, instead of rudeness. They don't take offense to the bratty behavior, but will still teach the sub a lesson. And it's why the bratty sub acts really bratty, is because they want a little bit of discipline. They usually want a little bit small, light punishment. Brat tamers usually team up, pair up with brats. Okay, now 94%, so we're getting in the higher ones. Okay, so master/mistress receive complete control over the life of their slaves, and all responsibilities that come with it. They go a step further than dominance in a sense that all aspects of their life, except for non-negotiables like jobs and things like that. Their 24/7 life is controlled and create a stable and safe environment for their slaves to allow optional servitude. And they usually pair up with slaves. Okay, now degrader. It's the opposite of degradee. You just like to degrade and humiliate. Degradee likes like to be degraded, like to be humiliated. Degrader like to degrade and humiliate their play partners, either by acting upon them with degrading way, or by forcing them to do things they consider degrading. They usually pair up with degradees. Sadists enjoy inflicting pain, usually in a sexual context. They usually pair up with masochists, who find pleasure receiving pain. Okay, now rigger like to tie up and restrain their partners. They usually pair up with boat bunnies. Okay, and then Primal Hunters. I had to look at this and underneath owner just to make sure and refresh because I don't know all the terms and everything. Primals are, I got 100% on this, are mainly focused on their nature and natural instincts. They enjoy letting their inner animal out during sex. The key part for primal play is the participants show their raw emotional sexual feelings. During play, all of the labels, roles, protocols go out the window, and the prey can become snarling, growling, clawing, hell-bent on getting away from you, the predator. Hunters typically pair up with primal play. So more of, yeah. I think that covers it. Owner, 100% owner. Owner wants pet, so pet play. To take responsibility for them on a 24/7 basis. Sexuality is not necessarily involved. That's in case in a lot of these, in a lot of different plays. You don't have to do anything sexual. You can just be into them with, why it's an option for like asexual people. You don't have to necessarily be into all this paired up with sex and all of that. Yeah. Okay, anyway, back to the thing. Many pates don't feel like they're playing an animal. It's more of a typical relationship between an owner and a pet. So usually like a dog or a cat, just wanting more affection and things like that. And you get to dress up. That's for the pet. Okay. Dominant. Dominants like to be in charge. Some like to have their partner obey them without questioning. Others like some resistance while taking it their way. Some are dominant only in the bedroom. Others are dominant throughout their daily life. Unlike the top roles, giving pain, /bondage, creation, being dominant is more about who decides what's happening and takes responsibility, what comes with it, and then about the contents of what's happening. They pair up with submissives. Yeah, dominant usually makes contract, checks all the kinks, makes schedules, and figure out when they're playing and what type of play they're doing, making sure that everything's consented and that they have their code word, they're worded. I'm not finding the right words. They're making sure that they don't ever cross their hard limits, don't do anything that they didn't consent to and that they weren't interested into and didn't want to ever try, and that just causes pain and makes them feel uncomfortable and safe. So yeah, you gotta learn like how to be a dominant before you get into anything else you can do. Really be a sadist or a master, a ringer, or an owner, or primal. You gotta get dominant first because you gotta make sure everything's safe and consented and all the tools and everything is ready and that everyone's safe involved and that the environment's safe and everything's set up right before you can start any play. And usually you'd want to contract, so you both set limits of being like, hey, this is what I'm into, this is what I'm not into. I'm maybe okay trying this or that, but these things are hard limits, so definitely knows. And if I say this code word, this word we set up that we both know between us, yeah, if they say this word or give this signal, depending on the situation, that it means stop, I'll play, that everything has to stop right away and can't continue. I'll play needs to stop, restraints removed, and all of that. Yeah. So that's everything. I'll probably show all the different photos and things like that, or at least I'll have to find them, the different tests I've taken. But yeah. And that's everything.